Good morning, December 5th. Really was not much on my radar this morning other than PRFX for this kind of 2 to 8 theme here. And my first kind of support line was this 5 area. But I was looking at some charts last night and I'm considering switching to the 15-minute chart and for pre-market. And I did that this morning for PRFX, and I feel like it helped me avoid a failed trade. Because typically if I use the 1-minute chart, I would have saw this little bounce here. And I would have saw this little bounce here and kind of this, right? And I feel like I probably would have got in, honestly. But as you see here, it did this. And I just feel like the 15-minute chart really weeds out the noise. And I really hate the 1-minute chart. Like I hate the 1-minute chart. But for these reversals, you need to be quick. But I was looking at some charts last night over the past few gap and crop reversals, and it really seems like that the 15-minute chart could be okay because it really weeds out all of the noise, which I love that concept. So what was the one yesterday? SRM. So I was looking at this one yesterday, and if you look at the 15-minute chart, it closes right at support and then opens 2 cents higher. So you could even just buy at the open of this candle, right? It's a little easier said than done, looking hindsight's 2020, but even if you bought at the close of this candle, this closed at 133. If I look at the 1-minute chart, if you bought at this 1-minute candle here on the first bounce, close at 131. So a 2 cent difference within 15 minutes. 2 cent difference. And it weeds out all the noise and all of the emotional trouble. Another one is CTNT. This is the 1-minute chart where I ended up losing because I wasn't patient and I had a bad entry. So I bought all the way kind of up here at 687. Got shaken out when it broke my risk for a split second. If I switch to the 15, even if I bought at this candle here, the first candle that touches support, 679. My entry would have been better if I used the 15-minute chart. And then it does make a low here. So the concept kind of still applies where I needed to be a little bit more patient, but you could it just weeds out the noise and paints such a easier picture, in my opinion. I have a few more examples that are just like this, where like the entry literally could have been better than what I did on the 1-minute chart. And I just feel like it weeds out the noise. But back to PRFX. So I used the 15-minute chart this morning in pre-market and it helped me. It saved me from buying a bounce. And then it faded to this support level here. And I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. It's a slow scan this morning. And, again, I kind of did the thing of like not really being confident in this case, I was confident with the support line. I just wasn't really confident in the big picture. We've been seeing stocks go from 2 to 8, but this thing went from 2 to 8 already. And then if it bounced here, I would have bought it. But then when it dipped even lower, I'm like, okay, maybe this just kind of seems like a fader at this point. The volume wasn't incredible. And I just wasn't feeling it. It just feels so slow today. And again, to me, the play is a lot different when it bounces farther away than up here. I mean, right here around 440, I mean, that's nearly 50% away from pre-market high. To me, that just kind of screams fader. And then another thing is I was using the 5-minute chart because I was like, I'm just kind of like experimenting in a way. Like, okay, like 15-minute chart works great for pre-market. Let's see, maybe I could use the 5-minute chart, right? And for intraday, and it's just too long of a time frame. As you can see here, I can't buy at the top of this. You know, the play is over. The risk reward is crazy. And looking back at it, do I mind this play? Not really, right? You have this kind of higher low, strong 1-minute candle here, but it barely gets to VWAP and then starts fading. And to me, that kind of paints the picture of like this is a fader ultimately, and I find this to be just kind of a lucky bounce, right? Maybe not super lucky because again, we are seeing this 2 to 8 theme. We're seeing them fall. We're seeing them go back up to 8, but if I don't know, like I'm not too mad about missing this. Of course, I get FOMO, of course, but I don't know. I can't. If I'm relying on these 5-minute reversals essentially that are not even getting back to VWAP, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong plays, right? So that's kind of my thing. And again, just screamed fader to me. So that was what I was looking at. The other one I was looking at was Tara, but it never really fell. It just kept on ripping. The only play for me would have been here. It had good news. It's a massive volume breakout on the daily chart. It's a breakout technically on the daily chart. Good catalyst, and I really don't mind like the first dip on a PR in the pre-market, right? I buy it. This is the 5-minute candle. If I buy at the close here, I have good risk, right? And then of course what you see here. So, but then I was hoping for a reversal, but it just got halted down and it never really did anything. And that is really the only one that was on my list. I see RKDA. I had breakfast with my father this morning, so I just kind of missed this. I don't know if I would have played this because again, I kind of set the risk. I set the support here at 538, which is support on the daily chart. That's kind of the area that I like to see, just like Roland says with these kind of Sex Panthers, right? But it just never really fell down there for me. Now it looks nice on the 1-minute chart. Get this nice higher low here. I like this, or even here, right? 650. You could risk 640, right? So, but then it was merger news, and that's kind of a thing I struggle with too. Like, okay, the catalyst isn't ideal, but does the Sex Panther theme override that? I think it kind of does. So, and then does the Sex Panther theme override the fact that it didn't fall to 5? That I don't know. I don't think so. So I don't know if I would have played this anyways, but I missed it. And I mean, I don't see anything else. So I mean, like we have PRFX that had a super quick 5-minute reversal. TARA that was essentially just a pre-market breakout, and then RKDA with this kind of Sex Panther theme. So, but it never fell to 5. It never fell. It never really fell. So, and didn't really even fall at a support level. So you're kind of just playing this intraday price action. So I don't know. To me, I'm still new. Unless something feels super comfortable to me, I'm not trying to force it. And I know there's like big percent gainers happening right now. I'm not saying the market is necessarily slow, but I don't necessarily think it's like super crazy fire in the sense of the amount of plays. I feel like the plays that we are having really big percent gains, which is awesome and gives me the conviction to trade. But I don't feel there's just like a million plays and I'm overwhelmed like I was like last month or in the summer, you know? Um, so that's that. I don't really, and really, I don't see anything else for me because, like I talked about in my video last night, the only things that I feel like are in play right now are pre-market gap and crap reversals, Sex Panthers, and some first green days. You know, and I don't see anything that fits those bills right now. You know, we have seen a little bit of these kind of dump bottom bouncers, but not enough really. I don't know. I may take a stab at it, but not really enough for me to be super excited about it. And I know that we have the Bitcoin momentum right now, so that definitely is a thing, but not I'm not really comfortable with the sector momentum just yet. So I'll probably just observe that for now. This month, I really just want to focus on what I'm comfortable with, which I've said a million times, gap and crap reversals, afternoon plays. We're not seeing afternoon plays, so gap and crap reversals. And yeah, and it feels good. You know, it feels good to just sit on the sidelines, wait for what you feel comfortable with, make one trade a day, right? That's really solid, right? Or not make any trades at all. Like yesterday, I made 2 trades and I just feel about it, right? That second trade was just silly. The second trade was just silly and unnecessary. So just focusing on making one good trade a day on my favorite setups and going from there. And I don't really see anything now. I was just looking at these reverse splits. BJDX, I believe, is a reverse split. Either they already did it or they're pending. So maybe reverse splits will be in play. So November 18th. Yeah, so they did a split on the 18th. So, and it's up 35% on good volume. So that is, and wait a minute, PRFX is a reverse split. So maybe we're seeing reverse splits. I don't think PRFX did their split. Oh, they did. Okay. So now we're seeing reverse splits. This is good. Legitimate like percent gainer first split reverse split plays. BJDX and PRFX. Good volume, and I believe both had catalysts. Both compliance. Yeah, this is perfect. So now reverse splits. Now I'm looking at reverse splits, right? So we have Sex Panther. Well, we have pre-market gap and crap reversals. Sex Panther. First green day bounces a little bit. I almost don't even want to say first green day bounces because the couple that happened weren't even that good yesterday. VCIG and SNTI. They were fine. So I'll add them and then reverse splits. So this is good. So that's plenty for me, and that's all I'm going to be focusing on. And that's it.